Hello, hey, thanks for tuning into the channel. I'm Cedric the Credit Champion, and today I want to make a video on simply the importance of paying off your credit card debt. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share the video with a friend. All right. It's important that we understand that credit cards are not to be used to buy luxuries that we can't afford. So many times we buy things during the holidays that we can't afford, only to find ourselves in debt, missing payments on other items, all because we wanted to enjoy the holidays. You know, you have to discipline yourself to pay off credit card debt. I just paid off a credit card that had like $8,500 on it. And I paid it off before the 0% interest period ended. I did not want to pay any interest on that credit card. It was the Discover credit card. So I made sure that I paid the card off before that period ended. So it's very important to do. It took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of sacrifice. I even went into my savings in order to pay off that credit card. So I'm working on another credit card now. And I pay large amounts on this credit card so that it'll be paid off before the 0% interest period ends as well. And so, to those of you who are listening to this video, I want to encourage you to know that you can pay off credit card debt too. Like this year, I would have paid off over $20,000 in credit card debt. So you're not the only one who may have credit card debt. Maybe your debt is larger than mine, maybe it's less than mine, but regardless, you can pay it off. And that's what I want to encourage you to know today. Just come up with a plan, pay large amounts on that credit card. And listen, if you got a 0% interest credit card, you can, for necessities, okay, you pay, as much as you can on that card, and you can, for necessities, use that credit card again if you have to, but only use one card, right? Only use one card and pay off your other cards that you're focusing on. And then as you pay off a card that's zero balance, just don't use it no more. Put that one up, put it to the side, and just work on the one that you have debt on, and just continue to clear out your credit cards one by one. That's what I do. I pay the minimum on other credit cards that I owe, and that one that I'm focusing on just getting to a zero balance, I just throw lump sums at it, $1,500, $1,000 on it, and I get it paid off. And so it's very important to me that I get to a zero balance on all of my credit cards. Very important to me. And so I know it's important to you too, but it's a mindset that you have to have. You can't just continue to rack up credit card debt. They say that credit card debt now is the highest that it's been in history. Now this is after people paid off their credit cards at a record amount during COVID. I guess people didn't have anywhere to go, and they cut down on shopping, cut down on eating out. And we were forced to do that because you couldn't go anywhere with the COVID restrictions. But now that those restrictions are gone, people have gone back to their old ways of shopping, eating out, buying things, even if they don't have the money to pay for them. And look, I'm not going to sit here like I haven't done that before either, but you can't let it become a habit. At some point, you have to stop the madness. You have to stop and say, you know what? This debt is getting out of hand because these credit cards, they have to be paid back. So you just have to stop doing some of the things that you were doing to get you into debt. That may mean you can't go out to eat as much. It may mean that you can't shop as much. All right? That you can't get a new car now. it's up to you, but you have to really look at yourself and you got to make some sacrifices. Like, my car is paid off. And you know what people normally go do? They want to go get a new car when they get their car paid off. But not me. I'm going to drive this car that's paid off. It's still a nice looking car. I paid it off early. And so I'm going to drive it. And the money that I save from not having a payment, guess what? I'll put that money toward debt, pay off debt. And so, yeah, you have to make decisions like that. You can't always keep up with the Joneses or with the latest thing that's going on. You have to look out for your financial situation, right? And so, yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you today, about paying off your credit card debt. I want to encourage you. People are buying houses, even though houses are being overpriced. The interest rates have gone up. They'll continue to go up until people get the message. And what is the message that the feds want to get across? Is that we're spending too much money. But not that we're spending too much money, we're borrowing too much money. Because when people buy houses, what do? They take out loans. And so that's the spending really that the feds are trying to get under control. It's it's the debt that we're using. That's what they're really trying to bring down. Because if people were shopping with cash money, it wouldn't matter. But see, what people are doing, they're borrowing to go and shop. And so that money, it has to come at a price, right? That money has to come at a price. And so the feds are increasing interest rates. And when they increase interest rate on houses or nationwide, guess what? Your credit card interest goes up too, right? Then what happens to your debt? Your debt increases when you're paying based on a annual percentage rate on your credit card. So it's all tied in together, and all they're trying to do is get us to get the message. That is, we're borrowing, we're spending too much borrowed money. And as soon as we as a collective group get the message that we need to slow down the spending, the feds will then decrease the interest rates again. But if we're like buying houses no matter what on borrowed money, guess what they're going to do? Just keep increasing the cost of how much it costs you to buy houses. That's all. And those who are building the houses, guess what? They're going to charge more for you to buy the house because the materials are going to cost more. And so it's just a trickle effect until we get the message. And at some point, when interest rates get so crazy, we're then going to get the message. And guess what? Once we get the message, and look, there are a lot of people who are going to buy houses who can't afford houses. That's just how it is. People will buy houses they cannot afford. And those houses will go into foreclosure on a mass scale. And guess what? The housing market will crash. And then you'll be able to get houses at a very affordable price. So it's all a cycle. It's happened before and it's going to happen again. It's going to continue to happen because we continue to practice the same behaviors. So me and my wife, we're being patient. We're waiting to buy us a house until the prices go down, and they will go down because you can predict human behavior, right? You can predict human behavior. You can predict what's going to happen as a result of people buying expensive houses that are overpriced. We already know what's going to happen. All right, when the moratorium ends on not paying rent, we already know what's going to happen. All right, a lot of foreclosures are going to take place, which are going to cause house prices to plummet. Right? It's just a repeating cycle. And so, listen, don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's better that you be informed. That way you can change your habits and change your thinking before it's too late. All right? You want to keep your house? Well, you're going to have to make some changes if you're struggling to make your payment. Right? And so Those who are willing to change, those who are willing to make the sacrifice, they may be able to weather this storm. Those who don't, and they keep practicing bad habits, well, they're not going to weather the storm. Something's going to give. All right? And so they're not going to be able to pay all their bills. And so that's how people end up, in credit card debt that they cannot pay. And it just continues to build, destroying their credit. Then they can't take advantage of the equity in their home and things like that. All because of bad money management behavior. And so I hope this video encourages you just to take a look at the things that you're doing, the things you're practicing, and make wiser decisions. All right? Well, thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Cedric Credit Champion. Until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.